Hi there, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema. I am Aaron, and we're doing another unboxing today. Yesterday, I was lucky enough to receive my package from Howling Wolf Records, and if you have not checked out that video, please do, because I gotta say, what an amazing what an amazing gift it was, and what an amazing company they are. I spent last night listening to their stuff, and Well puts out doesn't just put stuff out, but puts stuff out with great passion. And I'm going to be reviewing a lot of it on the channel. I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to start with first, but I was really impressed with what I listened to last night. Hi there, William. Tonight I've got an unboxing to do, and hopefully the guy that actually sent it to me is going to be here because it's a late birthday gift. It got stuck in customs for a bit. Lucky it got stuck in customs with no charge, so that's always a good thing. So what is here? Well, there are some Blu-rays, some DVDs. There's actually even some graphic novels. One that truly surprised me. Hey there, Mark. I am doing a late birthday unboxing tonight from a good friend of the channel here, Craig. And you guys will be able to see it as I go on here and do it. So I'm just waiting a couple more minutes to let some people come in. Now, one thing I got to say, did anybody hear about the Severin news today? Did anybody hear the Severin news? Let's start with that. That'll give us some time before I do the unboxing. Has anybody heard about the Severin news? Because Severin announced it was already announced. We all knew it was coming. But they gave a bit more information on the Black Emmanuel set. They said that this is one of their biggest undertakings that they've ever done. Hey there, Craig. Welcome. Hey there, Matt. Craig is the reason this video is happening tonight. So this is kind of an exciting thing. So basically, Severin said that the Black Emmanuel set is much bigger than they initially anticipated. It will include everything in the Black Emmanuel series. So anything you can think about that's in the Black Emmanuel series, released or not released, is going to be in the set. And just got here, Matt. They also said that there's going to be some offshoot films as well. So we're looking at maybe a Black Friday release is what I'm thinking of, because he said it's going to be a few months before it happens. And if not a Black Friday, then probably early 2022. So I'm not sure I don't show any addresses on here. Because I did that last time. I had to actually cut it part of the video. When I say I got a bit of an unboxing, I'm not joking. I mean, this is the box that came. So there's a few things here. Wow. Okay. So there's one thing here that I won't show on because let's do the movies first. Actually, normally I do the DVD first and then I'll do the Blu-rays after. But this DVD I'm super excited about, so I'm going to do this one after. But let's look at the Blu-rays. So first off, Craig knew that I had the movie Logan, but he knew. Thank you. Well, it's my birthday was back in March, but the customs kind of like stuck it there. I like the name Mr. Awesome, by the way. But Craig knew that I bought the copy that missed Logan Noir, and I really wanted to see Logan Noir. It is kind of a black and white version of Logan, and I'm a huge fan of this film. I really like Logan. I thought it was a really great Marvel film. So I'm super stoked to check this out. This one I haven't watched, but I just read on this one. So I want to watch this one with my better half. So Haya original. So Crazy Samurai 400 versus 1. So basically, this is a 92-minute film, and 77 minutes of this film is an action sequence. So let that sink in for a second. It's a 92-minute film with 77 minutes of the film being an action sequence. I could not make that up for a shot. That obviously waiting for my better half to watch this one because this is her this is definitely her jam. As is this one, but I think she's watched this one without me, so. And it is, of course, Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo, sorry. Love the animation with this. From the same animation studio that did my better half's favorite animated film, which is Caroline, by the way. Her favorite modern animation film, anyway. Next up here is Alita Battle Angel. And I'm hoping this gets a sequel. I saw this one on the plane, and I wanted to grab this one a few times. So finally, in the collection is Alita Battle Angel. And in the fun cheese is The Mummy, the Brendan Fraser original, which I saw in theater, actually. The best part about this for me, well, aside from that Rachel Weisz was gorgeous, is John Hannah. I'm a huge John Hannah fan, so. But you may not have known, actually. I like John Hannah. He did a show called Rebus. And, well, somebody else, I think it was Ken someone took over Rebus afterwards, but he started Rebus. Next up is a Star Wars film. It's actually a Star Wars story, and it is Rogue One, which is my favorite so far of the prequel films that they've done. Like, the offshoot films. This is what I want to see in a Star Wars offshoot, like this in Mandalorian. This is the type of stuff that I want to see, not some of the other stuff that we get. So it is a Draft House film, and that is Spring, which I'm sure most of you guys have seen. You guys are so quiet today. You guys are either quiet or like I'm not getting comments. And this is really cool. I love the package. I got a film like this in packaging like this. Not this film, but I've got another thing. And I'm trying to remember what I got that has this packaging. Because it's a very unique packaging. May the 4th be and with you. And this is Gremlins. So what's really cool about this one is this magnetic style packaging. Kind of comes open like that. See Zach Galligan and Gizmo there, as voiced by Howie Mandel. And then it opens up again. There's Spike. There's Spike. So some incredibly awesome stuff. By the way, for those that haven't seen it yet, I put up the reminder for the video on Saturday. So now guys have no excuse for not checking out the video. We'll have Mike Thorne here, and the author Mike Thorne, and we will also have Jamie Blanks here, director Jamie Blanks, and me as well. Oh, my birthday is in March, but thank you so much. I collect this company. I'm trying to collect this label. So I was really stoked about this, actually. And this is an Intervision title. Intervision is an offshoot of Severin, and they do, well, you guys know, they do like the straight, shot and video titles. And this is Suffer Little Children. So this is one I've been meaning to get for a while. And there's actually some interviews in the back of it. So I'm kind of stoked about this. I was going to watch this last night, actually, but I had to do some reviews. Hopefully you guys checked out my review. I did a reviewed and ranked, which I haven't done in a while, with Mill Creek. Then like throwing a guy's Born Right Horror. Oh, it is, man. And like Mike is such a sweet guy. You guys, most of you here have seen Jamie Blanks on the channel, and it's going to be amazing having him back again because he's such a nice guy. And it's same with Mike. They're just such like down earth, relatable dudes. Hey there, Rune. Is it sunny up here? It is a bit sunny. That's why I moved the kind of lately when I'm making an earlier video, I got to move the camera over a bit because of that. Now, being the comic geek that I am, this really surprised me because this was something I did not know existed. But first, let's do a little caveat, like kind of a so. Back in the 90s, in the early 90s, well, around 1992, Rob Liefeld was with Image Comics. He created a comic character that was unique, but not for Rob Liefeld. For Rob Liefeld, this was pretty much, par for the course. This character here was called John Prophet, or just Prophet for the comics title name. Now, the character of Prophet is everything that you see on Liefeld in the 90s. Big shoulder pads, tiny feet, blades, overly, insanely muscular, and, well, to put it the best way I can put it, short-lived. He looks epic. If you like the 90s era comics, he definitely was. He was in the Dark Age of comics. So, Prophet didn't last so long. Like some of Liefeld's things. Max was Sam Keith. I'm actually a big comic guy. However, a few years ago, unbeknownst to me, Prophet was re-envisioned. Yeah, Eric Larson's Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon's Eric Larson, Max Sam Keith. So, did you know, James, because I was unaware of this until I found out by getting these from Craig, that, yeah, they redid Prophet and they turned it into an epic, cosmic, Conan-esque space opera in all the best possible ways. Now, altogether, the Prophet series ran 45 issues, a miniseries, and two Strike Files books, which are kind of like the one-shot books. So I showed you the character, right? I showed you what Prophet looks like. So this here is a re-envisioning, not a different character with the same name, but the re-envisioning of Prophet. Hey there, Trash. Well, I did some movies earlier. We talked a bunch of stuff today, actually. And you look at the artwork in here, and you get this almost heavy metal-esque style artwork. It's very different than what you just saw, isn't it? Prophet was like 90s surface level cool. This, however, isn't. This is an epic. And I looked this up actually. I'm so stoked to read these actually. So here's the very different, isn't it, than what you saw? Well, my birthday is in March, but thanks, man. So it's just basically some this gift got stuck in customs. Well, I have cats, but when I did have dogs, yes. And the artwork is insanely great. I am so excited to read these, actually. So, has anybody here ever read these? I know, Craig, you read these, but has anybody else ever read these? So as you can see, they really re-envisioned the character and gave him a much more adult storyline. Thousands of years into the distant future, the once great Earth Empire has returned. It's tied and blocked by a new and alien threat. Old friends and enemies must ally if there's any chance of surviving the menace. I say, just as you said that, I let you know. So one of the creators of the new series said that when he was making the series, he was trying to out Conan. I'm not joking. That's literally what he said. And don't you just look at this artwork? I mean, like this looks like something you'd see out of a heavy metal. And the last one was a miniseries, Earth War. And honestly, guys, this is incredible. So this is high up on my reading list. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to read this next after my graphic because I'm kind of nervous about. I'm trying to keep it a bit. No, Image Comics, man. They're Image Comics. Though I do have some Canadian comics there. So we got some incredible stuff. I want to thank you, Craig, because there's a ton of stuff from it. There's one thing I didn't show for a specific reason because, you know. You never heard of Prophet? You never heard of Image Comics? There's a great documentary, Logan, on basically on Canadian comics back in the day called Lost Heroes, which you should check out if you're a fan of comics. Is Craig still here? Yep, Image did Walking Dead. Image saved Walking Dead, actually. It does look, yeah. The Blueberry comics were definitely kind of like heavy metal, so it does have that type of look to them. A very Mobius feel to it. Of course, oh, definitely recommend that stream to anybody. As long as they're not trolls. They come in and troll, I'll block them, but as long as they're not. Did they do Glory? I'll definitely check that out. I actually got a omnibus come today. I'll show you guys that. I'm not sure I'm going to show you today. I'll show you probably in my next video. But I got, if you read Planetary or not, but Planetary was done all in one omnibus. So there was like 27 issues altogether of Planetary, I think. And then there was a Planetary Authority crossover and the Planetary JLA crossover. And then they had the big like graphic novel, the Batman, like graphic novel crossover. So that was that's all Planetary. So I did actually grab that one. A few days, around a week or so ago, it got stuck actually. Around a week and a half ago, it went on sale for like under just about $60, just under $60. No. But so to get like Planetary at the omnibus for under 60 was just incredible. And that's like with Tax In. That was like Tax In. My better half's a huge Mobius fan. Obviously, Mobius is the guy that created Metal Hurlant, who which is over here in North America called like heavy metal. Where like people my age got to like really got to see guys like Mobius's artwork and Richard Corbin and Boris. Is there a new crossover for Planetary? That'd be nice, actually. I'll keep an eye for that. Hey, George, welcome. I don't think I won your contest, unfortunately. George had a contest, and you had to guess his. Well, I won't tell you because if you check the video, he had a Facebook contest, and I was like, I was trying to get it and remember it, but I think I sucked at it. Though I do think I chose the film that is one of his best. You did actually. There's a few like Irish people on here, like come here, Logan. I got people from all over the world, people from Sweden. And did he do the artwork? Did he do the Alien, like when they did the adaptation of Alien, and it ran throughout a few different heavy metal comics? Was that Mobius doing the art for that? I got to check back. I think it was actually. Authority is still going on. Like different people did Authority. Planetary like had its arc, its run, went around 27 issues. Had some miniseries, had some like crossovers. That was pretty much what Planetary did. But Authority is kind of an ongoing thing. Authority is the one with like with Midnighter. So for those that don't know, Authority's got Midnighter and I cannot remember the other guy's name now. But basically, it's a Batman and Superman type character, but they're like in a romantic relationship. I don't think they are now, but they were for like that was during the cool Authority point. They were. It's American Previous of the film too, because I know there was like Heavy Metal ran like a running strip for Alien. I used to have the issues. So you do know your Heavy Metal then apparently. Walt Simonson, still his best work still for me is, I don't know, Thor? Is his run on Thor? I'd go with that. Comic talk there, guys. Some comic talk for some of you guys. For those of you that watch movies and haven't like dived into the comic aspect of it, think of it this way. Every movie that you've ever watched, more than likely, unless it's like a really cheap movie, and even some really cheap movies, have been storyboarded. So literally, even movies that aren't based on comic books are kind of comic booked along the way. You storyboard your shots in order to do them, and often actually they do use like comic artists to do storyboards sometimes, and sometimes you'll have like the directors that'll do them themselves as well. I heard about Young Guns. I really don't understand how it's going to work. I mean, if it's a new cast, I guess. Because Young Guns 3, they're not young. So that's like me, like the new young Aaron. No, I'm 50. Young is not going to be something that's going to ever, unless you're 100, or maybe, I guess, at least 20 or 25 years older than me. Young's not going to be something that you're going to hear from me. Oh, I actually do. I got Metal Hurling here somewhere. Somebody sent me. Like some of those, I don't know if it was legit or not, but I don't think it was legit. But I want to check them out. I wanted to buy them. I can't find them anywhere. I've watched Invincible. I watched some of Invincible. I've read the comic, so I know where it's going, unless they change it. I know exactly where Invincible is going, and I do like it. Oh, what? That's right on the 20th. I will be watching, George. Trust me, I'll be watching. I was going to be the first one to guess, but I did not want to be because I wanted to like think about it. And I was like, it was like 4:00 in the morning. I was watching George's video. And I'm like, oh man, I want to get this right. There's the Dead on the Line, and I missed that set. I was going through and I'm trying to think, and because I've seen all of George's videos, and has he said it? And then I actually tried to cheat George, tried to go back, but I didn't see it. So I'm like, I'm going to go with my gut instinct. I don't think I've seen the live action movie. My better half has, I think. Is it over? Is there a second season? I haven't watched all Invincible yet. Are they going to do a second season with this with Invincible? See, the thing that I liked Invincible, but the one thing about Kirkman, and hey there, Josephine, and my better half kind of said it with the not my better half, actually, my oldest, my daughter, actually kind of said it. She said he's a bit of a one-trick pony with certain things, because it's, and I can't give. I'm worried I'm going to give something away, you know. In a much in the same way of like George R.R. Martin can be with certain things, in that, you know, it comes up, oh look, it doesn't do the most logical thing, but it does the most shocking thing. So something I'm actually looking forward to watching, because I actually enjoyed Invincible. That was a great comic, but I will agree that sometimes it does do shock for shock's sake. Renewed for a second and third season. Okay. Hey there, Chris. Welcome, man. We were talking comics. Chris, you got to see this, because I know you'd appreciate it. The complete run of Prophet, the new Prophet. I think it's 2012, right? Is it correct? Around 2012. Can you believe that's Prophet? That blew my mind. I remember when I took this out of the wrapping, and I'm like, Prophet. So that sounds familiar. And then I turned over on the side, and it said Image Comics. I'm like, no. And I opened it up, and I'm like, no, it doesn't look like Prophet, because I know that Prophet was this like cheesy, like early 90s character. And I'm looking at it, and it's got all this like incredible art. And I see this, and I was like, no way is there going to be a comic book of Prophet that looks like this? But apparently there is. They really, really revamped it. So kind of Conan in space. A bit of a dense read, you're right. And I like that. Some people complain about that. Some people say, well, these comics are wordy. Oh, I'm a writer. I like that. I'll never take money like for reviewing films. Not that way anyway. I will be doing, like, you know, you can request reviews on my Patreon channel, that type of thing. But like I never review a film for a movie. How do you put this? Although I get review copies for certain things, I can't take money for movies type thing. Demajian is incredible, Mr. Sushi. I'm excited about that. Are there? Oh, I'm going to be looking for those. Unlike a lot of people, well, I'm older, so I was going to college when Image became a thing. I was actually going to college when what's called the Dark Ages. So for those that don't know, that are unaware of like the whole comic thing, around early mid 90s, what basically happened was a bunch of artists became extremely popular over in Marvel Comics, and to the point where some of them got their own titles, and some of them some of them were just really, you know, kind of in demand. And basically, like Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, those were, you know, the biggest names, and Rob Liefeld. Those were like three of the biggest names like in comics at the time. So there was a backup for them, and the backup for if Todd McFarlane couldn't do a comic, well then they would get like a Spider-Man comic. Then they'd get Eric Larson. Eric Larson was the backup, pretty much the guy that would take over for Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane also did some work on the Hulk too, and when Todd McFarlane left the Hulk, Larson did some of the Hulk, but so did a guy by the name of Dale Keown. And when it came to Jim Lee doing work, for instance, he did of course X-Men with Chris Claremont, and when it wasn't him, one of the guys that they could go with was actually Mark Silvestri. So what happened was, one day all of those guys went into Marvel's office to tell them, hi, we're going to quit. And they're like, are you going to DC? Because at the time, Marvel and DC, they were the big comics. They're the companies to go with. They're like, no, we're making our own comic company. And they laughed at them. They laughed at them, and they went out and they did Image Comics. Image because, well, they were all artists, and they're artists that were going to be writing their own comics. Sometimes it was a good thing, sometimes that was a bad thing. But it was the only time in comic book history, pretty much, that, in all honesty, they became rock stars. Like they were seen on, like, Rob Liefeld had commercials that he was in. Todd McFarlane was really big in the industry, and he still is. He's still a great mind in the industry. Jim Lee was one of the greatest artists of all time. Hey there, Dirk. Welcome, man. My birthday was March 31st, but thank you. This was a later present because of the fact that customs is a thing. Yeah, Marvel and DC were not treating their talents really good during that time period. Even Stan Lee, people forget that Stan Lee, for a time period, left Marvel and worked with DC for a little bit. So all these characters that you can think about, like that came out later on, like the Wildcats and Spawn and Prophet and Witchblade, yeah, perfect. Darkness, Darkness got an amazing game. They were all made by Image Comics, whereas the X-Men had a 5-season incredible like run on TV, which is still like got people into in the comics. Wildcats had 13 episodes, and let's just say not the best. Hey there, 2024. We're not talking politics now, just so you know, guys. Let me see what I'll be checking to see what you get, George. You always get such cool stuff, man. One of my favorite graphic novels. Good idea, actually. I'm not quite sure. Honestly, I really like Secret Identity with Kirby. I like a lot like Kurt Busiek stuff. I don't own Ghost World now. I used to own Ghost World, Josephine. I really like Ghost World. Got your second vaccine? Good going. My first vaccination appointment, the 13th. Not quite sure. Maybe. My mom's like, okay, no side effects at all, but she was a little tired. So I took the day off the next day. So it's not too bad. Not bad to have a long weekend either. There you go. But no, mostly we just want to make sure, just in case I want to sleep or whatever. Ghost World's actually good. I'd recommend it. Tank Girl I like. Not so much the film. I like the comics. I like the comics of Tank Girl. Obviously, but we unfortunately can't talk much about it on YouTube, where they actually kind of like they ding you. So you can't even say the word. So I'm not saying the word. Of course, Road Perdition. So see, that's the thing, guys. Like I'm an old school. Like Lori Petty was the right choice, but I wasn't big on the Tank Girl film. Now maybe I'll like it if I saw it again, but I was big in the comics. That's like when Constantine came out. Remember the film? Keanu Reeves came out and did the movie Constantine. I was as soon as they announced that, I was going in like with a negative because As much as I like Keanu Reeves, he's not Constantine. In no universe is Keanu Reeves ever Constantine. And in all seriousness, I look more like John Constantine than Keanu Reeves looks like John Constantine. Um, and that's totally serious, actually. So it's not the right choice. Standard ones, Swamp Thing. Which run on Swamp Thing, Craig? Sandman, Hellboy. Oh yeah, I love Hellboy. I love Sandman. Well, Constantine was modeled after Sting. Uh, Matt Ryan, the actress that played Constantine in the TV series, though, you got to admit, it looked like he just walked off the comic book. Not that Sandman. Sandman from from the Neil Gaiman era. Who do you have it signed by? My channel is focused on movies, mostly movies and films. Well, movies are films, comics, sometimes video games, and music. So we don't do politics. We don't do YouTube dramas, any of that type of stuff. There's enough channel for that type of stuff. This is a fun channel. Rights and more. So that's like me. I get a little bit different when it comes to like certain runs. See, because people talk about like the Frank Miller run, and on Daredevil, which is a really great run, and Frank Miller like really kind of reinvented like Daredevil, but I really I like it a little bit even more, and Nocenti's run that comes right after Frank Miller, and I strongly recommend that. Oh, nice, Rick Fleitch and John Totleben. Actually got some I got some Moon Knight Essential upstairs. Ever read the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? I did. I read both of the storylines. I love to get the omnibus. There's both of them there. Now there's one where the movie didn't reach up to the comic. Alan Moore's different. What is the Black Calendar? Black Calendar. You mean the comic? I don't know that one. Black Hammer, you mean? Do you mean Black Hammer? Because there's like a Black Hammer series. Like that's definitely one to check out. Like, honestly, there's a lot that I read. I'm collecting omnibuses now. And for those that, I've shown them on here before, like when on my birthday. And for me, that is the best way. Like if you were ever going to go back, if you're like lapsed from comics, and you ever thought they're doing a Moon Knight TV series actually. I didn't mind. I didn't mind. It's not a good movie. I'm not even going to lie to you. What is my number one Jean-Claude Van Damme film? The one that I said for you, actually. I go back and forth because I liked, but I really love Cyborg. So that's why I said Cyborg. Because I thought you might like it too. But I was going to say Street Fighter. That was going to be my first guess, George, by the way. But yeah, maybe Cyborg or because I like Bloodsport. Bloodsport was good. But aged okay. Cyborg was in my opinion better. Hard Target. There's another good one, by the way. Was the calendar box set? Oh, sorry. What's that? I don't see a Black Calendar box set. Oh, you mean the round thing? Oh, that's Breaking Bad. But there's something with Cyborg that just brings me back to it. Time Cop is fun. Even like the TV series with the Metcalf, that was actually pretty cool. But it wasn't. And of course, I like the what's it called? They made sequels of Universal Soldier. God, my mind's going today, guys. But that's okay, man. Day's going pretty good. I'm off work, so day's going pretty good. Anytime I'm off work, day's going great. But yeah, if you've ever wanted to go back into collect comics again, and it can be a bit of a heavy price point at the beginning, but go with omnibuses if you can, because you're getting complete runs of storylines, as opposed to like this here, for instance. This is a complete run, and if I wasn't lucky enough to have somebody like Craig, then to send me like the run of this series, then I'd probably get this in the store, and I'd get one, and I might miss like 2 or 3, and then you're looking for like a way to do it. Actually, I did like X-23, but they kept putting in more clones. I didn't think like that kind of people like that. But I did. I didn't think I was going to initially. I can wait till the 20th. I'll wait because I'll be. That way you keep me watching. Because I will watch, man. I think if they do X-23 again, like, to be honest, I think they'll probably use like an older actress. I'm not sure how old she is now, like the girl that played her at the time. She was a young kid. But they haven't really introduced any Marvel character, any X-Men into the MCU yet. Sudden Death was a good one too. But I like X-23. But I think that they're going to go with Wolverine. I don't see them doing X-23 right away, unless they can't find somebody to cast like as Wolverine, right? Because that's the thing. It's going to be hard. They're actually not going to cast the same guy to play Wolverine in the MCU universe. For those that don't know, and you guys all do, the mutants are coming to MCU. They bought Fox. They own all that stuff. See, that's the thing. She's younger, and who knows what she's doing now. Haven't checked out. And definitely she was great, but you have to understand that Logan was done in another universe. Like, Logan itself is kind of like its own thing, and it kind of works as its own thing as well. So they could recast, and wouldn't be a problem. Because they're gonna need somebody. I don't know, somebody athletic, really, or some really athletic for that. And I don't know, like, she's great as the younger, but I'm not sure if she's older. Is she like the super? Well, you gotta be trained for it anyway. I'm not quite sure how old would she be now. Like, she was like, what, 12 or 13 when she made the film. So you can never tell when it's like young kids, because maybe they could actually be older than they look, and they're just like playing younger. That happens all the time. More than a rumor. When they did the Fantastic Four, when they did the last trailer, and they started showing all the movies that were coming out, and they gave the release dates, the last thing that they showed on the screen came up was the Fantastic Four logo. I remember see opening up a restaurant. Actually, I like that question, Joseph. That's different. Well, Moon Knight could kind of do it because he's rich, and he's got split personality, sort of. Well, one of them, and he could like drive people in his cab to the restaurant. The Punisher could do it, and use it to watch mafia guys. Dark Horse, I used to have, like, I'm kind of like starting over when it's come to comics again now. It's because like I got a lot of there used to be a series of comics called Essentials, and what that was, well, for those that don't know, I went to school for journalism, and after I did journalism, I did visual arts. I used to draw charcoals. I don't consider myself a good artist at all. But one thing that I would do was I'd like look at line work for from comics and from just different work. So I like comics when I could have the color taken out just to see the pencils, right? So there's a series of like comics that Marvel did, and DC did them too. DC it was called Showcase, DC Showcase, and Marvel was called Marvel Essentials. And what it basically is, it is kind of like a huge, kind of a telephone book size, like of comic runs, and it was I was all in black and white, and I used to use them to like when I was drawing, kind of just to keep practice. I haven't like drawn in years though. But I think the only Dark Horse that I got right now, no, it's not Dark Horse, that's Tops. Yeah, cause that was Tops, the Dracula's Tops. I did have a bunch of Dark Horse. I used to have that, when they did the whole, like, what was it called? The Something World, when they did their own kind of like, their own universe, when everybody was doing the universe. Barbed Wire and all that stuff came out of that. The thing though is you got to find like a comic that's worth, because sending it to CGC that costs some bones there, man. That's good. That's a bit pricey. So you want to make sure when you go in there that it's going to be that you got the money and it's going to be worth it. Have a great evening there, Logan. And I did read Batman versus Predator actually. Ghost 2, yeah. Well, the Barbed Wire's the only one who made a film, so as far as as far as I know, which was basically Casablanca. Dark Horse, Master of the Universe. I think I have actually some of them. Star Wars, of course. See, when I think of like that, I think ID. There you go. IDW. I think of IDW now. Like for me, though, where I'm older, like Star Wars is. I used to read the Marvel Star Wars, and I don't know if I read much of the Dark Horse like Star Wars stuff. I read the Predator and Alien stuff, and I read a lot of IDW back in the day too, because they did a lot of franchises like they that's something Boom took over like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stuff like that, but they did stuff like Transformers. Definitely, because you want it to go. What grade do you think it's going to be? Like we have one here. Like we got a couple. You want to know a cool one? My better have got this one before I met her, so I can in no way claim the coolness of this one here. But my better half has an X-Men comic that's signed by Stan Lee. So that's how you know, guys, that you got a good one when you meet her and she doesn't know anything about your geekiness yet, and she shows you her signed X-Men comic book by Stan Lee. That's when you know you've got the right geek girl for you. A six. That's not too bad. 6 or 7. Oh, it was. I don't think he worked. He worked on the comic. It was something that he like. I think it was like. I think it was the Jim Lee Claremont one. To be honest with you, but he actually signed it. We actually got to meet Stanley a few years back in Montreal. I used to like RoboCop. There used to be this comic company called Now Comics. I'm not sure if you remember those or not. You did Fright Night and Married with Children. Marvel is going stronger than ever. DC, however, not so good. Hopefully DC can come back. I mean, like, they've had a couple good movies, but not a lot. Like in all seriousness, not a lot. They did. Actually, my daughter actually, I bought her the Thor was amazing. So was Black Panther. And nobody ever says anything in this channel. Warlock knows nobody ever says anything bad about Captain Marvel in this channel. Because I'm a huge Captain Marvel fan. I really, truly, 100% appreciate it. Craig, you have an amazing night. I am going to cherish these here, and I'm I'm not sure which film I'm going to watch first, but I'm going to reach Profit soon. I really am. Well, I did that for my dad actually when I was talking to Lloyd Kaufman from Trauma, so I bought a bunch of Trauma stuff, and basically like there's this one movie that Trauma kind of did produce. It did nothing to it, but pretty much they bought the rights to it. Is what it was an older like Paul Naschy film, not aware of Paul Naschy film, but like a different Paul Naschy film, one of the lesser ones. But have a great night there, George, man. Kitty Pryde, female character Kitty Pryde. Miss Marvel too. I love Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan. Out of all the movies like that are coming out, Marvels with Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan and Captain Marvel is probably one of the ones I'm most excited about. That and of course Shang-Chi. I forgot about. You're right, Stephen Platt. He did, yeah, Stephen Platt for a while. He was like that. He had that that I saw Captain Marvel in the theater twice. You're on thin ice. Um, had that kind of like that spark for a while, like because Stephen Platt kind of made like Moon Knight kind of cool for a little bit. I think he might be Thomas Wayne from Flashpoint. It could. I mean, like depends on how like. I don't think they're going to go that faithful with it. See, during the '90s era, there was this kind of like almost what's the word I want to use for it? This over exaggerated, just over the top like art style that kind of became prevalent. Stephen Platt had it. Rob Liefeld had it. Uh, like not so much with like Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri. They were definitely more streamlined than that. Larson did have it a bit with Savage Dragon, but and of course John Romita Jr. had pretty much done it like redesigned his look as well because he was just tired of doing everybody else's stuff. He just wanted to do his own stuff. See, for me, Shang-Chi, the best era because I'm old school, is the older like I like the '70s Shang Master of Kung Fu, which they're not going to do because the character did have to pay a bunch of money to the estate, so no Fu Manchu. Uh, they're going to be doing like they'll definitely be doing more along that era. Except they use the speed lines exactly, and those huge shoulder pads. So many and pockets and pouches everywhere on their outfits. Like what the hell? Like Batman had a utility belt, okay, but you didn't have in the '90s. Like there were pockets everywhere, and everybody had like this thing put around there to make the muscles bulge even more. Well, they're doing the Mandarin is what they're doing, the real Mandarin. Walsh Potato. Walsh Potato is really good actually. But I'm a big fan of the Dark Era. I really do like it. Unfortunately, they're harder to get. Like I, I called a comic shop and I was asking them, so what do you have like when it comes to the Omnibus stuff? And I started asking about some of the Dark Era stuff, and they had none of it. And they're like, oh no, the Dark Era doesn't sell as well. And I'm like, that means it's not going to come back in again. And they're like, yeah. I said, well, then that means it's rare. And they're like, well, yeah, but I'm like, no. I said, but so basically, you're not going to get in to your shop the stuff that's going to be eventually harder to find, isn't going to get a reprint for a long period of time, and is eventually going to be, you know, a better and more expensive sell. I'm guessing Warlock was a fan of the Image stuff too. But they'll use like the Mandarin. That's definitely the Mandarin that they're using for the film. I do like that it's the guy from Kim's Convenience. That's cool. Kim's Convenience is a Canadian comedy series. It just ended, and that's the guy from Kim's Convenience is the guy that's but that's what he said. Now, and I argued with him too. I had to do it anyway. Warlock, I think I told the story on here before, because the guy was like a dick to my son, and that led to me calling the store, and he, pretty much just putting him down so many notches. Yeah, but you live in Toronto, so you can go to the Comic Con. Yeah, so the guy from Kim's, of course, is the guy that's playing Shang-Chi. But I almost ran a comic shop once. I almost actually had my own comic shop. Uh, and I've always had that, still always had that mindset when it comes to like, okay, this is what I get. This is what I wouldn't get. This is how I do it. This is how I stock it. And when he said, well, we didn't get any of them in, I'm like, you idiot. So no more Ben Riley or Clone Saga there for me. I have Volume 2, and I guess that's about it. See, now, where I lived at the time, Warlock, as you know, I lived in an area where there was no Comic Cons or anything like that. So it was only like later on that I started going to Montreal and, of course, Ottawa as well. I got to meet some people over there, Stan Sakai and, Sir George Jonas, Stanley, people like that. I don't think I've met any of the image artists. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have, actually. I love to meet Todd McFarlane. He rarely does these anymore, does he? Great guy, though. Infernal. I love Infernal Affairs. I got the box set, like the DVD box set. Remember when they put it out? I think it's like Dragon Dynasty put it out. Put it in Infernal Affairs, the box set. I got that old Infernal Affairs box set downstairs. I love Chris Claremont. I found it harder to get into Jay Lee's like style of art. It was so sharp and angular, but I can read and like Jay Lee stuff, except when it gets too arty for me sometimes. One person I can't unless it's a vampire comic. I really dislike Kelly Jones' art, like his art on Batman. I literally stopped reading comics because of Kelly Jones. Because I was really into comics, I had my long boxes, I was reading them a lot. And then Kelly Jones started doing like the covers of Batman, like, oh, these suck. And then he started doing the interiors of Batman as well. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm tapped out. Kelly Jones on Batman and Maximum Carnage, 14-part storyline. Those were ones that really, for me. Favorite Mel Gibson film? Mad Max, I think. I like revenge films. Claremont was so good. I got to meet Neil Adams. There's an artist I guess I got to meet. I don't have any Crumb stuff now. I used to have a lot of Crumb. It's a lot of Crumb stuff and later Peter Bagge, so I had a bunch of hate comics. That's not like the way it sounds. But yeah, I had a lot of Robert Crumb, a lot of Peter Bagge. And I had Cliff Sharma, Dave Cockrum on the original run. Then you got like, I don't know what he's directed. To be bluntly honest with you, I don't follow Mel Gibson as director. Neil Adams is right there, and his son was there with him too. And they were both really cool. Like we got some art from Neil, and I think I got Tarzan and Conan sketch, and then we got like a Doctor Who sketch from his son, from Neil's son, and because he worked on Doctor Who comic. I would love to meet George Perez. Did he do Hacksaw? I thought Hacksaw Ridge was done by somebody. Okay. I don't know. I guess Braveheart. I don't have Dark Skies. I remember the show though. It was kind of a. It was in a way. It was an odd knockoff of like X Files. I liked it. A Wizard Con. Oh man. Although I love it, I love his artwork. I don't think it's a good idea to ever put me and Ethan Van Sciver in the same room together. That's that's one thing I can tell you right now. That will not end well. Jay Lee was like a baby. I mean, that's like Rob Liefeld. When Rob Liefeld was like 14 when he started. Right Tom. Again, there's another guy that knows his stuff too. Right Thomas. I remember reading a lot of like Chuck Dixon stuff, especially Detective Comics and that. Now, Roy Thomas did a great run on Conan. Huge Conan fan. I got a couple of those Savage Sword books over there. I'll show you guys in a second, actually. Because I had planned to make this a shorter video, but we can go for a few more minutes. And I didn't plan to go as comic centric as I did. Oh, dude. Matt, how do I... How do I... Let's see. I don't want to say it on here. But I sent you a message. That's why we're not Galama. You want to win for Shannon Day? Yes, I do, actually. That's Ethan, by the way, that I'm talking about. From the message that I sent you. You see what I mean? That's why. Well, he wasn't in there for like a long time, but he did come in there. There's a time period, and now this was like earlier. Like this was, I think, when Shatner did was in the '90s or in the mid '90s. But during the what do you call the new generation? But I think he came back again when they did their whole like year of like guest host was horrible. Have a good evening. Like Shatner has a great like. Well, I did some unboxings for some stuff, so check that out after. A lot of comic talk going on here tonight, Jason. Which actually kind of like I'm kind of stoked about that. I'm glad you're rude, Deventure. You're nicer than I would be. From Tech War, right? Greg Evigan series. Well, for those that don't, Wim Shatner wrote a series of books called Tech War, and it was made into a TV series in Canada called with us, Greg Evigan, who starred in like My Two Dads and BJ and the Bear and stuff like that. No, you missed nothing. I can honestly say, you missed nothing when you by missing that era. Yeah, they started as for like a lot of those shows. They started as like I think it was like 2 or 3 TV movies, and then came into a series afterwards. Kind of like what they did with Hercules. It was part of the action pack, actually. If you remember the action pack, they had Hercules and for what's her name, Lost Son, Tech War. I got the whole Tech War series here actually with the films because they came in here in Canada, and we actually got a bunch of this stuff here. Hey there, Antoine. We got a bunch of those like shows here that didn't come. That I don't think they were released stateside, or if they did, they were released for some weird reason. Released cut. But the release that I got is did Paramount do the release for that one? Because they didn't do the release for a couple of mine. I know because mine were like Canadian releases. I have to check downstairs. And I'm not doing that tonight. But it's part of my like I got a whole like shelf of Canadian made TV shows from like Due South to Tech War to just a bunch of stuff, Degrassi, all that stuff. Oh yeah, there's a series of movies before. Hey there, Rye, welcome, man. Hopefully you're doing okay, man. I saw your comment on Facebook about a day or so ago as I was going to sleep, actually. Well, that's what it was. See, basically, before the CW came about, for those that are younger, I love Corner Gas. I'm watching Corner Gas, the animated series right now, actually. And huge crush on Gabriel Miller, by the way. And also, what's her name? Tara Naren Spencer, who plays the cop on Corner Gas, the female police officer. Damn, man. Damn. She's kind of hot, and especially if you see like the fourth Witchmaster movie, then you see a lot more of that character, of that actress. Yeah, Outer Limits did a limited Relic Hunter. I missed out on the Relic Hunter stuff. Did you get that, Warlock? That's like RoboCop got a release over here as well. Oh yeah, I knew what you were saying with Outer Limits. I got some of them here actually. The Alliance releases, right? I think Alliance put them out. Who's her partner? Like, I think I did know, but I don't remember. Are we talking about Tara Naren Spencer? Or Gabrielle Miller? Don't let it get you, Rod. I've been having a ton of days like that recently. I love Will Eisner's work. I love the spirit. Just such amazing stuff on it. I thought we got like a full release here in Canada. Did we get a full release of what Relic Hunter here, Warlock? I thought we did. Because Alliance put a bunch of this stuff. Towers Police Print. Oh, he's so funny. He is. Are you serious? You know Gabrielle Miller, like in real life? I watched her from Corner Gas, Robson Arms. Yeah, see, not joking. All 3 seasons. Yeah, I knew. See, I missed out on that one. I'll do like I'm not sure if I do it in the TV room because right now there's a lot of stuff in the TV room, but I want to do like Lauren Cardinal seems like to be a blast. That's like the Outer Limits. If you buy the Canadian version of the Outer Limits, then you get it uncut. I know Taryn. Remember Tara Naren Spencer from Corner Gas? Well, she's on a couple episodes of Outer Limits. And one, what is it they're doing? For some reason, like I think it's the DNA episode where everybody's like nude and they're basically he's going around pretty much like looking at like kind of picking at like little flowers. It was a good episode. Well, tell her I'm a fan. Tell her somebody on YouTube that's actually a super fan of her actually, and I did like Robson Arms as well. And it's nice to know that she's nice because she seems it. I mean, like she's a few years younger than me. I was shocked to find out like she's 47, and she looks like she's in her early 30s, which is insane. I would love to figure out what the hell. Who's in the picture behind me? The picture behind me, it is one of Frankenstein, Boris Karloff's Frankenstein. There you go, right there. Actually, on the other side, you can't see it here now, but I've got Boris Karloff as the mummy as well. I got Sinbad. That one I did the first season. I don't have the second one. But I do need to get that because I know that they changed like the lead actress between the first and second season of that series. And I actually was a huge fan of that show. It used to come on like Sunday afternoons here on NTV. And of course, Brett, what's his name? Brett Butler. Is it? Brent. I'm gonna get it wrong. The main star from Corner Gas, anyway, is a huge comic book fan. So in every episode of Corner Gas, like the TV series, both the animated and the live action series, you'd always see like some type of comic book reference on the show. That's the thing, they were cheap releases, and then when they went on print, Warlock, they were so hard to get. You're probably going to see CGC grading. Like I missed out on that RoboCop release, and the RoboCop series wasn't very good. It was pretty bad actually, but I just wanted it. Brett Butt, thank you, man. Because after that he did Hiccups, right? Him and his wife, because the girl that plays the one that works in the place with him is his wife in real life. So he did Hiccups after that, and I think the guy from it, Fred Unick, something like that. I can't pronounce it right. He went on to do his own show. Now they're all back doing Corner Gas, the animated series, except for, of course, Wright, who passed away. So they had to get like somebody else, and a girl that sounds a lot like her actually. Wanda, yeah, Wanda is that's his wife. And I think like Hiccups lasted 2 seasons, right? He looks like a fun. He cannot be like. Here's the thing: to play a character like he plays on Corner Gas, it's you. You got to be extremely. You got to be one. You got to be talented, and 2, you got to be smart to play dumb. Playing dumb is not an easy thing to do, especially and consistently do it and to pull it off well. And he does that character so well. I haven't seen the travel. I'll check that out actually. Earth, Fun, and Conflict. Love that show too. I actually like True Romance. It was written by, of course, everybody knows it's written by Tarantino. That's kind of its claim to fame. But really enjoy the film. I'm not sure if I'll be getting it right away. I do. It's one that I do really like a lot, but there's a couple coming out at that time period. The Demajan box set is coming out then, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, and the spaghetti Western box set is coming out at that same time too. So those will probably be the ones that I'll grab first. Comedy is hard. As somebody that acted, and like even in a limited, semi-professional capacity, I tell you, comedy is the hardest thing you can do. Now, one of the things that I think has made I won't say successful, has made this channel, as the way it is I have a background when I was younger, and I wanted to act. One of the things that I did, and I did often, was improv. And I think that does help out when you're running a live channel, and especially when there's like a lot of people, a lot of questions at a time. You have to cultivate that. People think it's easy, and then they do it like, oh, that's not as easy as I thought it was. Yeah, it's it's fun. I enjoy it. But you guys make it easy. That's the thing. I got the right crowd here. You guys actually make it very easy. But comedy is the hardest thing you can do. If you can do comedy, you can do any type of acting. That's why you see comedians like that can go over and do a darker like tone, because to get on, like for instance, to do stand up comedy, to get on stage, basically you're literally saying, you know what, I'm gonna put myself right out there. I'm gonna cut myself on stage, basically, not literally, but figuratively. I'm gonna cut myself on stage, and you can watch my pain. and it's and that's what that's what comedians do every day. They take their darkness and they put it in this big ball and put it in humor. So it's when you see like a comedian and all of a sudden like the late Robin Williams, who was really good with darker roles. Basically, you had this because he's used to his pain being out there, and his pain. There's more pain, unfortunately, with Robin Williams than we realized until it was too late. We're like, have a great evening, man. We got to have talk more Alliance Atlantis stuff afterwards. I like that. I thought about doing stand up at one point. I don't think I'm funny enough. But yeah, there was a time I was young when I wanted to do it. I'm brave enough, but I'm just not funny enough. I haven't seen Resident Alien yet. I read a bit of the comic, but I haven't seen the series yet. I do like Alan Tudyk. Of course, he was in Fireflies, but I haven't got to check that one out yet. I'm still nervous, Rye, but unobstructed. I really am. I want to not be nervous. Hey, the Cinematech. I want to not be nervous with unobstructed. They're not making it easy, and I want them to do well. Let's check it there. Let's check it on Unobstructed site. For those that don't know, Unobstructed View is a company there that are working to be, I guess, the diabolic DVD of here in Canada. So you're lucky. I had not such a good run with them so far. So let's see, less of me and more of this. Actually, let's do that. Let's do the imprint titles too, because the new imprint titles are the best, and they are so good. All right, let's see where the new ones are. Where are the new ones? Come on, come on. These aren't them. Shop now. Search by what's the oldest. All right, here is the July imprint bundle. And then we'll go over each one. VSC, they're VSC. Yeah, didn't they do corner gas? Like, isn't that how they became, like, how they got like a lot of the money that they got to do, like, to go like to become unobstructed was through corner gas, because they put out the corner gas titles. All right, so here they are, and surprisingly, I wish I could get review copies from Imprint. It takes longer to get review copies out of Australia right now, because I got some of the releases actually. So as you can see, there's a couple box sets here. It's a special edition. So let's dive in. Let's dive in and see what's coming out from July, because it's $299.95 Australian, which is a bit, obviously. So there's a box set here, a Hammer Horror box set. You got Countess Dracula, Hands of the Ripper, Twins of Evil, and Vampire Circus. For those here in North America, will know these, of course, from their Snaps releases. It's a Blu-ray hardbox, and it does have some new stuff on it. There's some new commentaries on here. New commentaries from Jonathan Rigby and Kevin Lyons. Vampire Lovers, The Life and Career of Ingrid Pitt, visual essay by Kat Ellinger. That's going to be great. The Blood Countess Bathround film by Kat Ellinger. Also, that's going to be fantastic. New interview with Leon Lessig discussing Countess Dracula. New commentary for Hands of the Ripper. Twins of Evil gets a new commentary, 2-hour director's cut of The Flesh and the Fury exposing Twins of Evil, feature-length documentary. A brand new cut of that is coming from Ballyhoo Pit Productions. New Satanic Decadence and Legacy of Sheridan Le Fano in Hammer Twins of Evil, visual essay by Kat Ellinger. This is great, actually. You can't see what I'm talking about? Is it not shown on screen? See, I'm a little behind. Let me... Did it go black? Sometimes it does that, and I got to go ahead and come back in again. Let me see. First off, thank you for letting me know. So none of you guys can see what I'm looking at right now? I'm waiting to see if you guys can see. So let me go back to here. I know what I did. I'm an idiot. So, just so you know, what I did, and thank you so much, Rye, by the way. The mistake that I made was I was looking at, because I was sharing a page, but I was showing you guys the other page. The Criterion thing was up there, and I was sharing you that. So let's start again. So this is the Hammer set. There's a ton of features on the Hammer set. It's $119.95. Ton of new features as well. Vampire Circus gets a new commentary, a 30-minute documentary on Vampire Circus produced by Marcus Hearn. Peter Musgrave interview on editing Vampire Circus. And exclusive bonus Blu-ray edition is the very cool Flesh and Blood, the Hammer Heritage of Horror documentary. The remastered director's cut of the documentary features stereo sound, new candid interviews, rare clips, photos, home movies, and over 40 minutes of additional content. So I think this documentary has only been on VHS and DVD before, and that's only been the regular cut of it. So this is a brand new cut of the Hammer Heritage of Horror documentary. Which, by the way, is freaking awesome. Next up is Silver Scream Cinema. There are 6 films here. We have The Unknown Terror, Return of the Ape Man, The Vampire's Ghost, She-Devil, Valley of the Zombies, and The Phantom Speaks. It's 6 films on 3 discs. Only 2,000 copies, limited hardbox. New commentary with Tim Lucas, with Stephen Jones and Kim Newman. A Tom Weaver commentary. Another Tom Weaver commentary. Another Tim Lucas and Stephen Jones, Kim Newman commentary. Stephen Jones and Kim Newman commentary. Another Stephen Jones, Kim Newman commentary. So this is all the guys to do for the classic stuff. And also coming out from Imprint is their of the Dead Zone, the classic film on coming out on Blu-ray with a slip box. New Looking Past the Future film, The Dead Zone, interview with Mark Irwin done in 2021. From Coma Nakota is Scoring the Dead Zone with Edward Schirmer from 2021. A new Dino in the Dark, adapting The King of Horror. An all-new documentary featuring interviews with Mark Lester, Mark Irwin, Louis Teague, Dan Addis, Mick Garris, Tom McLaughlin, Tony Mestrel, and more. Looks really cool. I wish they did a 50%. I'm shocked they did a 50% off sale. Actually, I'm not sure if they did 50 or they did 40. New visual essay by Lee Gambin on like these. Like, I would love to get some of their stuff, because I'll be honest with you, their stuff's amazing. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. They're putting out some amazing stuff. And they're also putting out Brotherhood of Satan. Love the box art for this one. And even Brotherhood of Satan is getting a new commentary with Troy Haworth and Nathaniel Thompson, and The Devil You Know. Inside LQ Jaff Productions with author, film historian Justin Humphreys. So that'll be a fun one as well. So that's a ton of stuff coming out. Oh, there's one more. I forgot one. Through JB Hi-Fi. I'll have to check that, actually. Is Haunted, which I'm pretty sure was a James Herbert's book, right? Yep. So we get a new commentary by Kim Newman, Stephen Jones, Seeing Things, filming Haunted, Feeling Things, Acting Haunted, and Hearing Things, Scoring Haunted. So that should be interesting. Shipping policies for Imprint. Let me see what I can find out for you, man. Shipping and returns. Let's just check that out right now. All right. Attempt to send your goods via Australia Post. Let's just see what they say about. I'm not seeing a lot here on free shipping Australia wide. So this, do they sell outside of Australia? Let's find. I thought they did. See if they have any. No information on international shipping. Then maybe you do have to go through there, because I couldn't find any information on shipping. JB Hi-Fi is pretty much like, it's like HMV, Matt, for Australia. Free ship. Eyes of the Face is fantastic. My Carnival Soul is amazing. Life and Time, Tyree Milk, all great titles, man. But with that being said, we are going to have to go over the Criterion sale next time, because I'm not sure I got any more unboxings to do this week. Friday is the live Patreon video. So if you're part of the Crimson Cult, if you haven't and you're thinking about it, it's down in the link below. It's the live movie club, along with the merch stuff is there as well. I am not tiering my channel right now because I don't want people to have to get a certain thing in order to watch my stuff. Like if anybody comes in and wants to be a patron, you can be a $1 patron or a $5 patron. Like either way, you're still going to see everything. I don't want to limit any of my stuff from anybody. So I'll be doing, of course, the live Vinegar Syndrome video on Friday. Saturday is a big day on the channel. Saturday, what's going to be really, really huge about Saturday, and most of you guys know this, but if you don't, we got director Jamie Blanks returning on Saturday, along with horror author Mike Thorne. There's a reason they're coming on together. You're going to find out a lot more about that on Saturday. It's going to be a really fun, really fun conversation. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm both nervous, excited, happy, stoked, all that stuff. Make sure that you are there. Details will be provided ahead of time. I'm probably going to schedule the Friday video either later on tonight, Matt, or I'll schedule it on Wednesday. But either way, you'll have the link way ahead of time this time around. So it won't be getting it on Friday again. I'll be getting it early. But with that being said, I am Aaron. I need tea. My voice is going again. I'll see you soon. International shipping is a flat price of $25. There you go. Cinematech. Thank you so much, man. Saving the day. I am Aaron. This has been the Call to Cinema. You guys have, as always, been awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Craig, even though you're not here, for providing the things that I unboxed on this video. And anytime anybody wants to send something that I will unbox, you want me to send something to review, I'll do that stuff. Because Right now we're rambling. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.